Y ¿qué tal? Aquí seguimos en Metal Gear Solid 2 o el Metal Gear Solid 2 de toda la vida. Y bueno, vamos a continuar. Oye, me estoy sangrando. Vamos a ponernos una venda. Recordad que teníamos un combate ahí bastante bestia. Y en principio nada. Bajamos. Quizá debería curarme. Tenemos 6 minutos, hay una conversación ahí que nos importa 3 pepinos. Un montón de gente a la que no debemos molestar.
The hundreds, if not thousands, of Metal Gears that exist all over the world are no longer a threat. The blind rush to nuclear proliferation will be contained, and it will be the Marine Corps and our Ray that will accomplish this. This weapon will render all obsolete. Nations building up their own Metal Gear force will think twice about their nuclear strategy in the light of the military dominance spelled out.
Creo que ese suelo hace ruido, así que voy a intentar esquivarlo o pasar muy lentito. Aquí había que conseguir dog tags y tal, que eran complicadas. Y encima se van girando. Al que no lo van a poner fácil, ¿verdad?
Ours is not the only military project devoted to Metal Gear development, but it cannot be more different in nature from the Navy's. Theirs is a program that will add fuel to the uncontrolled fire of nuclear proliferation. It is a fact that players in favor of such a policy are attempting to derail our own Ray project. But I promise that they will not succeed. Some say that the strategic importance of aircraft carriers will be reduced by the completion of Ray.
Creo que pasaban cosas.
In the light of the military dominance spelled out by Ray. The shift in the balance of power will mean a new world order.
Han pasado cosas.
We, the Marine Corps, will play a central role in its military affairs. Some say that the strategic importance of aircraft carriers will be reduced by the completion of Ray. The opposition from the Navy is an undeniable fact. There is a lot of pressure from Navy brass, especially those with submarine and air background. Not to mention interference from a major player. But this project is vital to the Marine Corps. The enemy is sometimes closer to home than you think, gentlemen. Always bear that in mind. Ours is not the only military project devoted to Metal Gear development. But it cannot be more difficult.
Ya se han fastidiado. No pasa nada, ¿eh?
The Marine Corps will play a central role in its military affairs. Ours is not the only military project devoted to Metal Gear development, but it cannot be more different in nature from the Navy's. Theirs is a program that will add fuel to the uncontrolled fire of nuclear proliferation. It is a fact that players in favor of such a policy are attempting to derail our own Ray project. But I promise you that they will not succeed. Some say that...
Y ahora viene cuando se complica más aún, ¿o no? Bueno, ya hemos llegado a la zona. Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Correcto. Tenemos el ordenador para pasar las fotos, pero tenemos que hacer las fotos primero.
a lot of pressure from Navy brass, especially those with submarine and air background.
Oh, las fotos.
Not to mention interference from a major player.
All right.
But this project is vital to the Marine Corps. The
Foto de
enemy is
frente.
sometimes closer to home than you think, gentlemen. Always bear that in mind. I have a daughter, and it is my greatest wish never to have her or her children experience the horror of nuclear war.
Good.
As a father, I want to leave a better world for the future generation. As a soldier, I know that is my
La derecha, luego había que subir, no me acuerdo por dónde. Derecha no es izquierda, pero bueno.
You must be 10.
¡No! Mierda.
Metal Gear Ray is
Me he salido sin querer.
amphibious. Unlike the Army's Rex, it can cruise deep underwater, move in
Anfibio.
and make its landing on any shoreline. Its onboard joint tactical information distribution system identifies targets with unerring accuracy and takes them out with massive firepower. It is the ultimate weapon, and it is yours to guard.
Freeze.
Like you ought to think about what that means. The National Missile Defense Program was initiated in the end of the 20th century, projected to completion in 2005.
Dormir.
The NMD trial conducted in the year 2000 was a complete failure, and the success
para bajar.
of the 1999 trials is now considered a chance happening.
¿Podía subir de alguna forma?
Solution in sight, and the program
No me acuerdo dónde estaba la escalera.
strong criticism from Russia and China for its potential violation of the anti-ballistic missile agreement. The fact that any development in missile defense would trigger accelerated weapons development has been pointed out from the very beginning. President Sears forced the NMD proposal through and succeeded in deploying the program. Some say that
Well,
it was a military interest, with plans for the $100 billion program budget that actually arranged the legislative approval. Former President Sears did also act towards reducing the nuclear stockpile while nurturing the NMD concept. It was he who lowered Start 3's ceiling for tactical nuclear weapons in order to bring Russia around to approving a revision to the ABM treaty. Everyone believed the world was headed for the end
Por si acaso alguien lo ve.
Shadow Moses did.
¿Cómo? Se subía arriba, tú.
Even though the development of Metal Gear Rex is still
Ah, era por el otro lado, ¿no?
truth. Everyone in the international military community knows the facts.
Otro lado me quedan 2 minutos.
Spread across the globe like wildfire. And the nuclear
Me quedan 2 minutos y he guardado, o sea, a lo mejor lo he liado. ¿Por qué Scott? Salió parda. Pero bueno, si fallabas por tiempo me parece que te dejaban volver a intentarlo. Auto viewers.
Any codec moments from you, Snake? Okay, first up. Okay, this works. It's a great front view.
Toma de frente.
Okay, what am I seeing now? You're a pretty good photographer. We can definitely use this left shot.
Parte izquierda.
The next one is... Okay, that's good.
Parte
Shot
derecha.
on the right is in the bag. The last one is... Didn't think Gerlukovich was involved, of all people. The photos from the right, front, and left are ready to go up. The only one we need is a close-up of the Marines' lettering. We're almost there.
Pero marines, tío. No me acuerdo si desde aquí. Me suena que se podía llegar arriba. Ya un poquito, ¿no? No es mejor desde el otro lado, espérate.
The only thing that can reverse its course is this Metal Gear ray.
Ahí.
The Metal Gear Rex development on Shadow Moses was supposedly the first preparatory measure taken against the future possibility of reduced nuclear defense capability. NMD technology leaked to other nations would make that contingency likely. But if this theory is correct, it means that there was a calculated intent to cash in on this opportunity by specific
Dame, me haga tiempo.
was supposedly the first preparatory measure taken against the future possibility of reduced nuclear defense capability. NMD technology leaked to other nations would make that continue.
Es que no puedo apuntarle, no me dejan.
Was supposedly the first preparatory measure taken against the future possibility of reduced nuclear defense capability. NMD technology leaked to other nations would make that contingency likely. But if this theory is correct, it means that there was a calculated intent to cash in on this opportunity by specific interests within the military-industrial complex. We are here today to flush out and rid our country of these corrupting forces. That is our mission.
Con todos, han girado todos, espérate.
Shadow Moses was supposedly the first preparatory measure taken against the future possibility of reduced nuclear defense capability. NMD technology leaked to other nations would make that contingency likely. But if this theory is correct, it means that there was a calculated intent to cash in on this opportunity by specific interests within the military-industrial complex.
No me acuerdo por dónde era, tío. Necesito la maldita señal de los marines. Escalera, escalera. ¿Dónde había una escalera, tío? NMD technology leaked to other nations would make that contingency likely. But if this theory is correct, it means that there was a calculated intent to cash in on this opportunity by specific interests within the military-industrial complex. We are here today to flush out and rid our country of these corrupting forces. That is our mission. You will bear that in mind. ¿Y no era aquí donde era? This turned out to be longer than expected.
Freeze.
At ease. Rest a little. Let's continue. George Sears surrendered his presidency in the aftermath. Está durmiendo, no sé cómo. Por aquí no puedo ir. Espérate, Estoy pensando cómo llegaba yo a la maldita escalera. George Sears surrendered his presidency in the aftermath of Shadow Moses. Sears surrendered his presidency in the aftermath of Shadow Moses. The official reason given did not, of course, include the development of Metal Gear Rex. ¿Era necesario dar un golpecito? Sears surrendered his presidency in the aftermath of Shadow Moses. The official reason given did not, of course, include the development of Metal Gear Rex and next-generation nuclear warheads. Ah, con los pisotones rápidos. Y lentito. But even you will have heard rumors that he was forced to resign after the failed cover-up cost him
Y no hay para subir. Desde el principio.
This weapon will render all other Metal Gears obsolete. Nations building up their own Metal Gear force will think twice about their nuclear strategy in the light of the military dominance spelled out by Ray.
Aquí me van a pillar sí o sí.
I seem to be repeating myself. Chalk it up to old age. This Metal Gear Ray is a prototype. Did not, of course,
Entonces desde el otro lado puede ser.
did not, of course, include the development of Metal Gear Rex and next generation.
No, tampoco.
You will have heard rumors that he was forced to resign after the failed cover-up cost him his influence in the political community. This Metal Gear Ray is a prototype designed to be operated by an onboard pilot. In its final form, Ray will be unmanned, driven by tele-existence and an autonomous control system. The importance of next-generation technology such as C4IS rumors that he was forced to
¿Cómo se hacía, tío, para conseguir la maldita
cost him his influence in
foto de
the community.
lo de los marines? Es que sé que era arriba,
This Metal Gear Ray is a prototype designed to be operated by an onboard pilot. In its final form, Ray will be unmanned, driven by tele-existence and an autonomous control system. This turned out. The importance of next-generation technology such as C4 ISR and RMA in battle situation has been discussed time and again, but Ray is the first to deploy it so fully. With Ray's completion, the Marine Corps will lead the way for a new age of military tactics. Former President Sears did also act towards reducing the nuclear stockpile while nurturing the NMD concept.
No puedo pasar, tío. Es que habían zonas subterráneas.
He was forced to resign after the failed cover-up cost him his influence in the political community. This Metal Gear Ray is a prototype. Rumors that he was forced.
Espérate, porque la única forma que puedo cruzar es por aquí. Espérate. Ya me acuerdo.
Metal Gear Ray is a prototype designed
Me acuerdo de una mierda, pero
by an onboard pilot. In its final form, Ray will be unmanned, driven by tele-existence and an autonomous control system. The importance of next-generation technology such
y si por aquí se podía bajar. O sea que no me estaba dejando.
situation has been discussed time and again, but Ray is the first to deploy it
Creo.
so fully. With Ray's completion, Marine Corps will lead the way for a new age of military tactics. This turned out to be more than
Forget
expected.
about it.
At ease. Rest a little. Let's continue. We have intelligence that there are anti-
Pero no sirve para nada. Pero me parece que me lleva al mismo sitio.
Intruder to the right. Intruder to the left. Intruder to the right.
Para que se giren y me pillen.
New York Harbor and conduct top secret field testing of Ray. Shadow Moses has turned public opinion against weapons development. This training needs to stay covert. We cannot risk jeopardizing the program on
¿Llevará una escalera esto? Lo dudo bastante. Me quedan 30 segundos encima. Esto me lleva al mismo sitio donde está el pesado este, ¿verdad? Ok. Quedan 12 segundos, tío. Cuando lo he conseguido. Ah, no.
Thwarting their plans and guiding this nation back to its original.
All right.
I'm on a roll here. Let's go on a little bit longer. This exercise is but a first step towards that.
Dice que era poco tiempo, que lo va a alargar un poquito más. Suerte. Tengo la última foto a tiempo. No me acordaba de cómo se llegaba, tío.
Okay, I'm receiving the images. The first image is... This is great. The Marines lettering shows up really well.
Sal de ahí ahora mismo.
We, the Marines, will lead the charge into a new world order with Metal Gear Ray. That is all. Dismissed.
Y como siempre, van a pasar cositas. Alguien está aplaudiendo.
Excellent speech, my friend.
Who the?
Gift of the silver tongue. They say it's the mark of a good officer. End of a liar. Americans are too in love with the sound of their own voice to speak the truth.
Identify yourself.
I am Shalashaska, also called Revolver Ocelot.
Me recordaba más borroso y más pixelado. Quietos.
What do you want?
This machine will be quite useful.
What are you planning to do? Steal this thing?
Steal? No, I'm taking it back.
El hombre más sigiloso del mundo.
Nobody move. Understood? This ship now carries enough Simtex on its key structural points to blow it out of the water at the touch of this button. That's right. No one has to die needlessly.
Un pavo tumbado. Apuntando.
almost at the target. Get a move on.
What do you intend to do with Ray? Sell it on the streets?
I was raised in Snezinsk, formerly known as Chelyabinsk 70, the nuclear research outpost.
What are you talking about?
After the Cold War ended, my home was bought out by the Americans.
Is there a point to this sad story?
Now you would understand. Land, friends, dignity, all sold to the highest bidder, the United States of America. Even the technology that gave birth to these weapons is Russian, developed by us.
What do you intend to do?
Russia will rise again. And Ray is the key.
I regret to inform you that I have no intention of selling Metal Gear.
Vaya.
As I said,
Doble traición.
to take it back. Yes, returned to the Patriots.
The Lale Lule Lo? How's that possible?
Ocelot, have you sold us out?
I was never in your employ, Gurlukovich.
Are you still in league with Solidus?
No hard feelings, Colonel. Mother Russia can rot for all I care.
Since when, Ocelot? When did you turn?
I'm glad you noticed, comrade. I abandoned her during the Cold War.
Ah!
Metal Gear only has room for one! Gurlukovich, you and your daughter will die here.
Damn you!
No puedes contra Revolver Ocelot.
Sergei, looks like you were long overdue for retirement.
Traitorous dog!
Show's over. If you wish to live, I suggest you run now. This ship is still in the lower New York harbor. You may yet make it to shore if you swim for your life.
Vaya. ¡Qué mala puntería!
Ocelot!
Por la cara.
It's been a while, brother.
Who are you?
You know who I am.
Liquid?
Not so young anymore, eh, Snake? You're drowning in time. I know what it's like, brother. No wonder Naomi passed you over for the Fox Dive program. Ouch! Get out of my mind, Liquid! The price of physical prodigy. Few more years and you'll be another dead clone of the old man. Our raw materials are vintage, brother. Big Boss was in his late 50s when they created his copies. But I live on through this arm!
El brazo de Liquid. Cuidado. Y lo sabe pilotar porque es un experto en todo. Digo yo. La verdad es que no se lo pone fácil, ¿no? Ni lanzagranada ni nada. Encima han hecho una máquina anfibia. Va por el agua también.
problems. Proceeding as planned, sir.
Un poco como Godzilla.
Yes, at the location we discussed. Yes, I have photographic evidence of Snake on the scene. The cipher was most useful. I look forward to tomorrow morning's news flash. I would say the Marine Corps' plans are on indefinite hold. Yes, of course, Mr. President.
Todo cosas. Ya, jugando en el 2024. Tu texto no da tiempo a leer.
Snake, do you remember the sinking of that tanker 2 years ago?
Of course.
Terrorists blow a hole in an oil tanker full of crude barely 20 miles off the shore of Manhattan. Your classic nightmare. It didn't take long for the government to put an oil fence around the whole mess. And then that massive offshore cleanup facility went up inside.
The big shell. I hear the cleanup isn't quite over yet.
It takes time. But in the meantime, the shell's become a landmark, a symbol of environmental protection.
Calling teams Alpha and Bravo. Deploy at the big shell as scheduled.
Approximately 6 hours ago, the big shell was seized by an armed group.
Do we have an ID?
Former members of the Navy SEAL Special Anti-Terrorist Training Squad Dead Cell. Russian private army members may also be involved. It's a highly trained group and they have the big shell under complete control.
Come in from downwind and pull up fast. Get ready to fast rope down to Shell 1. 5 minutes to ETA. Now for your top priority is to rescue and safeguard the President. Team Bravo, watch out for Stillman's back and get those C4s disarmed.
What are their demands?
$30 billion.
$30 billion? What makes them think they can get that much?
There was a government-sponsored tour going on at the big shell that day.
Hostages, huh?
A VIP from one of the major conservation groups, and one from our own government. The most important person in a sense.
The most important person?
James Johnson.
The President?
Unless the demands are met, the terrorists intend to blow the big shell out of the water.
And the crude will ignite, turning the Manhattan Harbor into an inferno.
That's not the worst-case scenario. If the chlorides being used to decontaminate the seawater go up with the oil, toxins containing catastrophic levels of dioxins will be released. In other words, the bay's ecosystem will be wiped out, and the sea will turn into a toxic soup for centuries, becoming the worst environmental disaster in history.
Casina.
You have 2 mission objectives. 1, infiltrate the offshore decontamination facility Big Shell and safeguard the President and other hostages. And 2, disarm the terrorists by any means necessary. You should know that SEAL Team 10 is also conducting a rescue operation.
Is this a joint effort?
No. Foxhound remains a covert body. Don't alert them to your presence. That is an order.
Y aquí llegó el personaje más odiado de los videojuegos. Bueno, más odiado no sé, pero uno de los más odiados sí.
How are things?
We're in luck. Looks like there are no sentries posted here.
What's the visibility?
The lights on the plant struts are functioning. I won't have to use the IR goggles.
Any problems?
There was a brand new hole cut through the oil fence. There's someone else besides me that wanted to get in badly.
That's not possible.
Definitely not. What about SEAL Team 10?
They landed on the roof of the big shell as planned. And by the way, Snake, we're changing your code name for all following communication.
What's wrong with Snake?
Just a precaution.
Exactly.
You are now designated Raiden. All right, Raiden. You've already covered infiltration and VR training.
I've completed 300 missions in VR. I feel like some kind of legendary mercenary.
Okay, we'll skip that part. Make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to reach you, contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
All right. I'll contact you if anything changes.
First, make your way to the upper section of the big shell.
How do I get up to the next level?
There's an elevator at the far end of that area. Use that.
Facilísimo.
Sounds good.
¿Qué puede salir mal?
Your new sneaking suit uses electrofiber technology, a byproduct of fiber optics research. The texture isn't far removed from rubber, but the material protects against a wide range of toxic substances. The suit itself has a wide array of built-in sensors. It is referred to as smart skin in military R&D. Data about damage to different regions of the body, including blood loss, is exchanged between the suit and the intravenous nanomachines to create a feedback system.
There's a lot of pressure on my torso.
Relax. The suit applies varying pressure to major internal organs to maximize performance and safeguard their functions. They call this the skull suit in Foxhound.
Skull suit seems appropriate somehow.
The hatch with a circular handle will open into the elevator area. Locate the hatch first.
Copy that. Moving on to main mission objectives.
Yo recuerdo que había una cosa que podías hacer para mejorar, no sé si era el grip, el agarre. Y creo que si hacías no sé cuántas veces como una especie de sentadillas te daban algo. Pero no me acuerdo bien. Para alejar los bichos tenías que hacer algo también. El maldito flipado. Ni la voltereta sabe hacer bien. Tiene que hacerla de lado. Raiden.
Got your feet wet? These are the basic controls for swimming. Stroke the water and move forward by pushing the punch button. Push it in rapid succession to swim faster. Change your heading with the left analog stick. Up will take you up. Down takes you lower. Left and right to face those directions. The O2 gauge will appear under your life gauge while you're underwater. The gauge corresponds to the amount of air you can hold from a single deep breath. Once the O2 gauge falls to 0, the life gauge will start to drop. You need to be aware of that.
Ya. Yo me acuerdo que por aquí habían cosas. O puede que no. Bueno. Porque mucho que le dé a bajar, no baja. ¿Y me puedo meter? Puedo meterme. Me lleva donde ya he estado. Creo que ya no hay nada más por aquí.
Colonel, I've sighted an enemy sentry. AN-94 and a Makarov. Those grenades, all his equipment, is Russian-made.
Must be a Gorlukovich man.
Gorlukovich?
A Russian private army that was in line to work with the Shadow Moses takeover group 4 years ago.
What's their stake in this one?
They must have made a deal, an arrangement with the terrorists. They become a band of mercenaries, an army without a country.
Vale. Tengo minimapa ni tengo.
Colonel, there's definitely another intruder in here besides me.
That's not a possibility.
Not a team. Looks like a solo job.
One man.
We may not know who he is, but he managed to take care of every sentry in the area. They're all out cold. Whoever he is, he's got some skills.
We need to get an ID. But for now, you can take advantage of the situation and get to work. There's a terminal in front of the elevator. A node.
Did you say nerd?
Not nerd. Node.
Oh.
Use the node to gain access to the Big Shell's facilities network.
Then what?
Pull up the map of the structure. That'll let you activate the Soliton radar.
The Soliton radar? True. That radar came in useful during VR training.
A radar system uses biological magnetic fields as input. These estimated enemy positions are projected onto a map according to reference points collected via GPS signals and field personnel reports. We need to get to the map through the Big Shell's node to put this data processing to practical use. The node unit is about 3 feet high. Should be colored blue. Each area has at least one.
No me acordaba yo.
How do I gain access?
Cosa más pesada.
Just push the action button in front of the node. The nanomachines in your body will take care of the security clearance and allow you access to the node. Complete the procedure before those sentries gain consciousness. If they spot you, you won't be able to gain access for a while. Stay on guard.
Got it.
Frente alerta. No sé por qué, pero en esta zona se va a liar. ¿Tengo algún arma? El botón de encima es el de puñetazo. Name, ¿eh? Era necesario. Aquí si ponías códigos te daban algo, ¿verdad? Es que poner... De acuerdo. Un momento, voy a pasar, como siempre. He escrito una mierda, perfecto. Se escribe con el círculo y nunca me aclaro. Vale. Fecha de nacimiento. Pain. 0. Miento. Soy viejo, pero no tanto. ¿Esto es el mes? Sí. Hey. No valía más, nada, para nada más que para que pasara algo en el día de tu cumpleaños, creo. Vibración, sí. Radar, sí. Sangre activado. Estéreo. Buenísima. Dolby Digital, on. Caption. Sí. Bien. Creo que esto lo voy a dejar así porque no me acuerdo cómo iba.
Good work, Raiden.
The radar should be functioning now?
Remember your VR training sessions. The tool is exactly the same one. It maps the terrain as well as the position of enemy personnel. The bright dot in the middle is you, Raiden. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision. Your radar isn't affected by the
Después de una hora de juego me explican todo esto que ya lo sé.
It gets jammed easily, I'm afraid. It's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance.
Dice exactamente las mismas frases que en el primer juego. Es que luego lo piensas y dices, claro, con razón, dice lo mismo.
How do I save the mission data?
I've set aside a proprietary frequency for saves, and an analyst to work on the data too.
Jack, is everything all right?
What are you doing here?
Jack, can you hear me?
Rose, you're not supposed to be involved. What's going on?
Jack, I'm a part of this mission.
Colonel, what the hell is going on?
Raiden, meet the mission analyst. She'll be overseeing the data saving and support.
Why her?
The Foxhound analyst that was supposed to take part in this mission was in an accident. Rosemary was brought in as a replacement.
An accident?
And according to the files, she knows you better than anybody else.
Rose may be in the service, but an intelligence analyst is no field officer.
Not to worry. She has our technical staff at her disposal.
She's never been a part of a field mission. This is insane.
I have my own reasons for selecting her for this mission, soldier.
Colonel, I fail to see...
I know your VR training performance in and out, but sometimes that's not enough. You're familiar with the Shadow Moses incident?
You know I covered it in VR.
If there's a crucial tactical detail that case taught us, it was the power of the operative's will to survive.
I was trained to fight. My personal feelings have no place in a mission.
We've learned that it doesn't work that way. And on the field, you need all the help you can get.
Jack, you're stuck with me whether you like it or not.
Rose.
You need someone to watch your back. But I have conditions that need to be met, Colonel.
What is it?
I'll perform my duties and save that mission data, but I'm aware that technically I'm not part of the mission control team. After all, I'm just a normal girl who's worried about Jack. But that means, Colonel, that I am not required to follow your orders outside of my immediate duties. Jack is not simply a field personnel for me to track. His safety comes first to me, not the mission. And because of that, I will be monitoring and keeping a record of every communication you have with him, Colonel.
Given the circumstances, you're free to do what you see fit.
Hey, I prefer this to being kept in the dark waiting.
I'd like to make a request, if I may.
Of course.
His handle is Raiden. For the duration of the mission, could you call him that?
Yes, sir. All right, Raiden. Let me know when you're ready to turn in a save. The proprietary save frequency is 140.96. I just switched frequencies. Jack?
What?
Do you know what day it is tomorrow?
April 30th. Is there something special about it?
Isn't there?
I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Oh well. I'll keep trying till I hear the answer. I'm gonna let you go now, Jack. Take care.
Ojo, se despiertan.
Raiden, the enemy sentry is regaining consciousness.
Be careful, Jack.
Find somewhere to hide until the elevator arrives. You must stay out of sight.
Arreglado. No hay nada más por aquí. No sueltan nada, serán rancios. ¿Lo puedo llevar?
Raiden, the elevator won't move when enemy soldiers are in it. Draw enemies out of the elevator.
Quería hacer la trampa, no me han dejado. No colega que tenía que... A veces le daba varias veces y soltaban algo. Ni para atrás.
The terrorists call themselves Sons of Liberty.
Sons of Liberty?
The name of their leader is Solid Snake.
The hero of Shadow Moses? So that's why you changed my code name.
Right, but he can't be the Solid Snake. He died 2 years ago on that tanker after he blew it sky high.
Could he have survived?
Not a chance.
Todo mentira.
Colonel, I'm on the roof. There are no sentries, but it would only take one to spot me in this light.
You never had daylight VR training after all. Stay extra sharp until you can find a node to log in from.
What about the commandos?
SEAL Team 10 has landed on struts B and C.
And the president?
Seems he was spotted on strut B.
Strut B?
The big shell is comprised of shells 1 and 2. Each unit consists of a central core.
Un poco lento,
and 6 struts surrounding it.
So the whole thing is shaped like 2 hexagons connected end on end.
Exactly. And you're on the roof of strut A, shell 1 at the moment. First, get to a node. Log into the network.
Got it.
De repente se ha puesto a hablar muy rápido. A ver. Tienes que tener cuidado con las cagadas. De las gaviotes. Porque si no te resbalabas. ¿Ves? Era M9, vale. No se podía abrir. Entonces, ¿cómo avanzaba yo? Me acuerde. No me acuerdo. Vete. He hecho 5. Diez. Bueno, se podía subir, yo creo que sí, se podía subir así. $15. 16. 17. 18. 9. 20. 1. 2. 3. 24. 25. Las gaviotas no paran de cagarse encima, ¿eh? 16. 27. 18. 19. 30. Me hace 50 y paro, ¿eh? Si en 50 no me dan nada, a lo mejor eran 100. 2, 3, 4, 5. Dos, 3, 4 y 5. 40. Cinco. 45. $50 no basta. Vale, encima no sé por dónde tengo que avanzar. Ah, ya me acuerdo, por aquí había una puerta. ¿Puede ser? No.
Raiden, look at that wire fence. You may be able to crawl through it. Crouch down using the crawl button. Then push the left analog stick in the direction you want to move.
Que no se ve que está rota. O que era un hueco.
You can use weapons even while crawling. This is different from VR training, so you keep that in mind.
Correcto.